Welcome back to the boss mode walkthrough series. This is champion mode Shattered Reflections. This is going to be our second run in with King Kong. Instead of using the Goblin team this time, we're going to use a little bit faster, a little bit more survivable Undead team, which has been my go-to team for a lot of dungeons. The Undead team here, the nice thing about this is with Yorick's epic attack, you really don't need any type of prolonged heals. We don't have to worry about the fact that King Kong is immune to critical attacks. Epic attacks are not affected by critical in any fashion. They have their own percentage mechanics. So Yorick's going to heal this team pretty regularly. And then with Hansuke's max epic as well, he is also going to protect the team with some buff defense. The stage does not go quite as fast as the Goblin team does due to the lack of excessive attacks from criticals, but it still does go pretty quick. We can just run this on auto attack without much trouble here. So we're basically just going to keep on cruising through here. Not really much of an issue here. The stage itself is really nothing to worry about. So we're just going to gradually walk through this, and hopefully along the way we'll keep our heals up. The goal is to get to King Kong with full health, and ultimately to not use your potions as well. You want to keep those things handy as best as possible. Depending on what your level is, you want to make sure that you actually have potions when you get to King Kong. Even if you're extremely well prepared, random things can always happen, and he could accidentally kill one of your guys when you're not paying attention, or if you get stuck after that frost breath, or if Yorick just goes on a cold streak and just does not heal the team. You can always keep Brahm and Zom around with their heals. If you run into a tight spot, definitely use those two guys for your heals. There's no point in saving those abilities. You want to keep them at the ready. Now, my Yorick has really been on a tear and been doing a lot of epic attacks here, which is part of the reason why I always suggest to focus on Yorick's epic above all else. Don't care how long it takes, farm those totems and get Yorick to level 12 before anyone else. I went max Yorick probably before I even started on some of the other epics. So getting down to this point here, I would normally say to use your heal, but the only pain about this particular mini boss is she does do that boss frostbite. So the only real thing is to just sit and wait. That's why you should always have a revive potion. Kind of got lucky here with Brahm doing the kill shot, because then he gets some free life back and I didn't have to worry about Yorick making a critical on one of these next two attacks before we get King Kong's first turn in there. So the boss frostbite only lasts for a couple of turns, so it should be long gone before you get to King Kong. So just keep plugging away. If you're lucky, you can get to the boss with full health. Depending on what your hero power is here and how quickly you can dispatch these here, it's not a bad idea to consider using Yorick's defensive move. But honestly, you'll be able to use that on the first turn here if you like, because you do need to still focus on those falling projectiles. So it's a little bit easier to manage with these guys now, because you don't have to save them for critical hits. So basically, it's just use Yorick and Hansuke to kill both the projectiles, and then use Brahm and Zom to just slowly poke away at King Kong. So you can see I actually attacked the wrong thing here. This serves as a reminder that even with a decent team, those projectiles can hurt quite a bit. At this point, though, with Yorick doing his heals, it's probably not going to hurt me that much. You could see that I got this on auto attack in between. That's usually how I run this. I kill the two projectiles, throw it on auto attack for the next 6 attacks, and then rinse and repeat. If you get really lucky, Hansuke will kill one of them himself. A lot of times he doesn't, though. So Yorick will kill one, Hansuke does damage to the other. So some of these times when the projectiles are up, I will just attack King Kong with Hansuke, since I know that Braum or Zom are going to one-hit the projectile anyways. It's wasted damage to just send Hansuke to kill half the projectile when that 4, 5, 600 health could be going to King Kong. So at this point here, the worst part about this is I happen to get poison on Zom, which is kind of a rarity from what I'm used to seeing. I usually don't see him succumbing to anything like that. So the only thing to keep in mind is that it's possible that he could die. So you have to watch out for those. See, wasn't paying attention. Realistically, should have used a heal to top off Zom. Or, yeah, that would have saved him a little bit there. But he's already half dead. And now that we had that out of the way, I tend to play a little bit smarter. Shouldn't have to worry about that again. Waiting around for York to do another heal. Otherwise, if you use Team Leech with Braum on one of those projectiles, he's going to heal for a massive amount because you're going to do a ton of damage on these projectiles compared to if you attacked King Kong directly. So, kill one of them with Braum and the other with Zom. And now when we do our heal, he does 38,000 damage, and then the heals, tons and tons of heals, like 5,000. So it's a good heal attack. So try to play a little bit smart. If you don't have a 28,000 undead team and yours is a little bit less, play this a little bit smart. Use York to use his defensive attack anytime that it comes up. If you have to, save those energy potions so that you can heal with Braum. I don't recommend healing with Zom on this one. His taste for brains on those icicles could certainly help, but the Team Leech definitely works a lot better, in my opinion, because he will do just a ton of damage and you'll get a percentage back rather than just like a stock amount. Otherwise, once you get down to the very end here, just keep plugging away, and then in most cases we'll use our friend heroes to finish him off, just so you can preserve that 3-star. With this particular team, I'm not really worried about missing out on a 3-star because all these guys are basically full health. There's not much that's going to kill him. So definitely consider using your friend heroes to clean things up. So we'll be back one more time with the boss mode mechanic. Until then, thanks for watching. Stop by again.